They don't want to disclose all their transactions like it is on Ethereum.
Well,
so it will be a hybrid
there is
model.
a blockchain out there. XRP Ledger would be a good one. You could go right there to it.
Mark your calendars for March 21st. The SEC's Crypto Task Force will be holding its initial roundtable at SEC headquarters from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
XRP comes to mind, which, it's
that knife cuts both ways, though. The previous cycles, man, they weren't feeding the ducks; they were pulling back because they were selling ducks.
But what if there were a way for Alpha Bank and Beta Bank to connect without even needing that? They could use, say, XRP. So this is the digital asset that's native to the Ripple consensus ledger.
It's commonly now more and more understood that our industry was unfairly persecuted in a way that depressed it and made it not everything it could be here in the United States.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. One more drop to $2 region for XRP. Then we're ready for takeoff. New all-time highs. $5, $10. Regulation inbound. SEC case dropping. Inbound. Also, we got the official sponsor list for the 4th edition Moon Party DCENT wallets. Ooga Labs, Ooga Booga, IMU TV, Rob Nichols, Rich Doug's Crypto Club, the Bluminati family. See you down in Austin, Texas. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. Go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up, because the future's extra bullish. And let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse, where the total global cryptocurrency market cap today right around 2.78 trillion. In the red again, and down around 4% in the past 24. We got XRP down to around $2.26. BTC 82,000. ETH right beneath 2,000. We got Stellar XLM right around 27 cents. We got one from Uphold to pop things off in case you missed it. Hashdex filed an amendment with the SEC yesterday to add XRP among other cryptocurrencies, including LTC, ADA, Link, AVAX, Uni, sold to its NASDAQ Crypto Index US ETF. Currently, the fund is primarily BTC with some exposure to ETH, the standard. We got SEC Gov, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC's Crypto Task Force will host a series of roundtables to discuss key areas of interest and regulations of crypto assets. The first roundtable will be on March 21st from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Drop that Rippleverse SEC case.
Mark your calendars for March 21st. The SEC's Crypto Task Force will be holding its initial roundtable at SEC headquarters from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Not only will the discussion be streamed live on sec.gov, but it will also be open to the public. This first roundtable is part of our Spring Sprint series, and it's entitled How We Got Here and How We Get Out, Defining Security Status. We hope that if you're able, you'll join us either in person or online for an open and frank discussion about defining the security status of crypto assets. More information about the agenda, speakers, and logistics of the roundtable is posted on sec.gov. We know that this process will take time and hard work, and we thank you for your patience and your continuing collaboration.
Gary, you still there? Get those jumpsuits. Get those gel cells ready. Chat Stein Grabber, it won't be ETH. LCX Exchange, XRP.
What would be the future here for you guys if you were to choose now?
What I can tell you is it won't be on Ethereum because they need a different settlement layer, which is much faster and probably also offering a hybrid model between private and public disclosures. So if the Bank of America would step in, they don't want to disclose all their transactions like it is on Ethereum.
Well,
so it will be a hybrid model.
There's a blockchain out there. XRP Ledger would be a good one. You could go right there to it. And oh, I like that. Okay, that's all I needed.
XRP, hidden in plain sight. X marks the spot. We got DAI, digital asset investor. Looks like Mark Yusko is at it again. Won't talk about the Bitcoin holders control. We got the Bitcoin holding percentage according to Grok. Top 20 holders control 24.2% of Bitcoin.
You know, Mark and Elon own a bunch of Doge, right? At least that's what we think. Mm-hmm. And on paper, it's worth a bunch of money. No, it's not. Because the minute one of those two wallets sells one Doge, that price is collapsed. Yeah. It's going to collapse. And the only way is if you feed the ducks, right? If you are feeding into that frenzy of the money coming in, XRP comes to mind, which, you know, it's
that
amazing.
That cuts both ways, though. The previous cycles, man, they weren't feeding the ducks. They were pulling back because they were selling ducks.
I don't know exactly, but it's amazing how people still don't understand that if a foundation or an individual owns the bulk of something, and they're selling it to you, they're not on your side. Like literally, you are their exit liquidity.
They don't want you with those generational wealth banks. Smoke Dog FedNow is growing at an explosive rate. Listen to the report below, which breaks down the latest FedNow transaction data and provides an up-to-date analysis of the network activity. Instant payments are finally becoming a reality in the U.S.
Hey, everybody. The 2024 FedNow fourth quarter statistics are in. And I got to tell you, they're telling us a lot when it comes to what's happening in the world of FedNow. First of all, over 900,000 transactions were processed. I mean, over 900,000 payments were processed. That's a lot of payments. That's a lot of growth. In fact, they saw a 172% increase from the previous quarter. And that's good. That means we're seeing adoption from quarter to quarter. We're seeing continuous growth. It's that hockey stick. It's continuing to go up. In fact, there was a 20 billion value in payments. 20 billion value. That means, again, a lot of payments are being processed. So we're seeing a lot of activity. The average payment was $22,000. $22,000 for an average payment. Now, it was much higher in third quarter and it did go down, but that's still pretty high. That tells me that we are seeing these FedNow payments being used for, I believe, at least a lot of business-to-business use cases. We're seeing them for things, you know, like auto loans especially. There's a lot of different use cases that exist out there when it comes to FedNow. And we're also seeing that almost 10,000 transactions daily are being processed. That's double, almost triple the number of transactions we saw daily before. And we're seeing that when it comes to average daily settlement, about 210 million daily settled, $210 million settled daily. What's that mean? That means there's a lot of activity. Now, you top that off with the fact that Fed increased the limit coming this summer. I think we're going to see a lot of increases between now and this summer. And what's that increase for this summer? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned for the next video on that one. For now, class dismissed.
Crawl, walk. Then we rock it. Another one from Smoke Dog. Jess Chang, a former Ripple employee who worked at the core of FedNow, gave an off-the-record presentation where she explained how banks will use XRP, FedNow.
Or you have a connector, a common account holder that has an account with Alpha Bank and with Beta Bank. But what if there were a way for Alpha Bank and Beta Bank to connect without even needing that? They could use, say, XRP. So this is the digital asset that's native to the Ripple consensus ledger. They could use that as a bridging tool. So in contrast to our previous examples, the hypos where it was fiat currency from end to end, each link along the way involved fiat currency. Here, banks like Alpha Bank and Beta Bank can use virtual currency to bridge that missing link just between them. And this tool could be especially useful for banks that are supporting emerging markets. So let's say we have Alpha Corp, now sitting in Brazil, wants to make a payment to Beta Corp, now sitting in Thailand for products that it purchased. So this means that Brazilian real are withdrawn from Alpha Corp's account with Alpha Bank, and Thai baht are deposited into Beta Corp's account with Beta Bank. But same questions before. How do Alpha Bank and Beta Bank bridge that link, that missing link between them? As a practical matter, it might be hard to find a common account holder that happens to have accounts in Brazil and in Thailand. But what if Alpha Bank happened to hold some XRP? And what if Beta Bank were willing to accept to receive some XRP? So Their XRP balances are recorded on a distributed ledger. So this is virtual currency balances recorded on the Ripple consensus ledger. Those two banks, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank, could agree as a commercial matter that Beta Bank has received full payment from Alpha Bank in connection with the Alpha Corp to Beta Corp payment upon a transfer of a certain amount of XRP from Alpha Bank to Beta Bank. And in determining the exact amount of the XRP to be transferred, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank are implicitly agreeing to an exchange rate. So, for example, Beta Bank would view this amount as the XRP it's willing to receive in exchange for that Thai bot payment that's on paying to Beta Corp.
All roads lead to the bridge, the standard. XRP, know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why they want your bags by any means necessary. Stronghold money transfers in 2025 are still running on the outdated system. ACH wire transfers. What's really happening behind the scenes, and why does it take days to move your money? The system is evolving and we're breaking it all down. Stronghold.
ACH, never heard of it. You may even have used it this week. Your paycheck, ACH. Rent, ACH. Utility, ACH. That gym membership you forgot to cancel, yep, ACH. Here's the cool part. ACH is like a bus. It's cheaper and slower because it moves lots of payments together. Wire transfers are like a taxi, expensive, but you can get your own dedicated ride and get there faster.
XRP, upgrading the financial system in a single API. Bloomberg Crypto Chainlink co-founder says that the Trump administration is committed to ensuring that the crypto industry will no longer be persecuted and allowed to properly develop and thrive. The XRP Ledger ecosystem is exploding at an exponential rate.
Sergey, take us into that summit. We took comments from the president and from David Sachs live, so we all know what they said. We actually heard from you, I believe, there making comments too. What happened, though, when the press was ushered out, when the cameras left?
I think there was a lot of positivity from the entire industry side of the summit. So they were very grateful for all the support from the Treasury Secretary, Commerce Secretary, the President, David Sachs, Bo Hines, all of these great folks, as well as the Congressman Tom Emmer and Brian Stahl, who was there. I think at the end of the day, it's commonly now more and more understood that our industry was unfairly persecuted in a way that depressed it and made it not everything it could be here in the United States. I think the general model of this administration is that if something has a global impact or impact on the U.S. economy, then they want to be in a leadership position. And so that means that from their point of view, crypto is a big driving force for the global economy and for the U.S. economy. That's what I think became even more clear after the cameras turned off. So I think this is a very high level of commitment, signified by the fact that you have both the Treasury Secretary there, the Secretary of Commerce, the President, and they basically explained their commitment to make sure that the industry is no longer unfairly depressed or persecuted and allowed to develop properly and allowed to make the U.S. a leader in the Web3 economy and the Web3 financial system, which I think the U.S. has a very good chance of doing if it does certain things correctly.
Utility trumps all. XRP, built for businesses, built for utility, built for banks, built to move all the money, all the value. We got DCENT wallets, top swap purchase tokens on DCENT last week. XRP, USDC, ETH, XLM, BTC. Link in the description for the DCENT wallet, biometric wallet here with XRP bags, exclusive discounts, 50+ supported blockchain mainnets, $30 off the single pack, $99 off the 2x pack, biometric authentication, certified ELA 5+ NFTs, Bluetooth, iOS, Android, that browser, 3,000+ coins, large display, not your keys, not your crypto, DCENT wallets, links in the description. Sentiment feed gold has seen increasing levels of interest among traders, with its price surging above 3,000 and rising for the first time. Crypto's decline in the past couple months has switched traders' focus to other sectors, representing an ongoing level of FUD. We got Jacob King, Bitcoin Maxi, spent years attacking just two things, XRP and gold. Now these two happen to be the only two major assets in the green this year, while everything else sinks, including their store of value, XRP, gold, coins, kid. XRP is myth in the fifth wave from the July 2024 bottom, We have seen 1 into a 2 into a vertical 3 and now to a 4. I think XRP has been in the way for irregular expanded flat ABC correction since December 2024. XRP is currently holding the 20 WEMA yellow line, which is currently a sign of strength from the bulls. If we see XRP take out the local January 2025 high, my minimal target is $4, but it may go beyond that on the next run-in. Crypto and Crypto Bull 2020. One more drop to the $2 region for XRP, then ready for takeoff. New all-time highs. Batman bag ladies. The longer they take, the higher we climb on that XRP rich list. Link in the description for the 4th edition Moon Party. Get your tickets now. We'll see you down in Austin, Texas. Our official sponsors, DCENT Wallets, Ooga Labs, IMU TV, Rich Dutch Crypto Club, the Illuminati family. What will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Catch you up here on the mothership. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. I'll see you at the tippy top. BYOB. Bring your own bags. Be your own bank. Be your own boss. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round here.